Hello everyone, it's Oliver Harper here, and I'm back with Brad Watson for a new commentary. How are you doing, Brad?
I'm doing good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, slightly hungover, but I think we can soldier
Why
on through this.
would that be? Nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with me.
I blame it, Brad, all the time. Now, obviously, today we are doing a commentary on Raiders of the Lost Ark, one of Steven Spielberg's classic movies from 1981. So if you wish to sync this commentary with your own copy of Indiana Jones, put the timestamp to 0, skip past the THX logo, and press play now.
Here we go. I am so excited. This is my first Spielberg commentary I've done with you.
It is, yeah. I did one with Mark O'Connell, but because
yes, you did E.T., didn't you?
Yeah, and Close Encounters.
Yeah,
oh,
I was well
Brad.
jealous.
Upset Brad.
This is probably, I think I said to you the other night, if you put a gun to my head and said you have to pick a favourite movie, depending on which day you did that, it would either be E.T. or this.
Yes.
This film is just cinematic perfection as far as I'm concerned. It's wonderful. I freaking love it. This is one of the main reasons I decided to sacrifice my entire life at the altar of making movies.
This is a movie you didn't see at the cinema.
I did indeed.
You did.
This is one of my very first,
very early memories.
Yeah, this is one of my very first sort of comprehensive memory of a movie. Like remembering going to see it, and remembering the stuff happening on screen, and just being just wowed by this thing.
This is one of the Spielberg's movies that is, because of its like period setting, it ends up actually being timeless with itself because it never fundamentally feels dated.
Oh, 100%. There's nothing dated about this movie at all.
And it showed that Spielberg could do something that was on budget in a quick amount of time.
Well,
he had been criticised for the disaster that was 1941, which kind of made a bit of money but not done as well as everyone had predicted because it was Steven Spielberg. You know, the guy was, at that point, he was hit after hit.
Well, the thing is that he's still, even with his hits, he'd gone wildly over budget.
Yeah, Close
Encounters went over budget, and Jaws went massively over, not through really any fault of his, other than his decision to shoot it all on the open ocean.
It seemed slightly risky, wasn't it, in terms of like, was he going to get it done on time?
Absolutely. So even though Spielberg had kind of justified himself with those two movies because they were huge hits, 1941 was the one where people went, well, hang on a second, if you keep letting Spielberg do this and it doesn't quite work, we could be in a lot of trouble. And I think Spielberg was hurting from 1941. He felt really, because he thought he was Teflon, and 1941 completely sort of destroyed that.
Well, wasn't it that sort of 70s period where the directors were really very much in control of their films? United Artists obviously pushed that heavily, where all these like Scorsese and Lucas and Coppola were these kind of darlings of cinema. And then obviously the disaster of Heaven's Gate kind of studios were like, right, we're putting our foot down and taking complete control of these things.
Well, it was this weird. It was this period where the studios just didn't know what to do anymore, and that's why they turned to this bunch of young kids really in the late 60s and throughout the 70s. The most famous group of which became known as the movie brats, which Spielberg and Spielberg was the
De Palma.
De Palma, Scorsese, Spielberg, Lucas, and Spielberg was really the studio guy.
He was
of that group.
Because the other directors all like being slightly rebellious, and Spielberg was part of the machine.
Because they'd all gone to film school, and they'd all been out making movies themselves and all that. And whereas Spielberg got accepted into Universal very, very young and cut his teeth, shooting TV.
Well, we just missed the iconic reveal of Indiana Jones, which I don't think they actually have topped, have they, at all in the sequels? I think there's Last Crusade's got a great transition with the sort of the hat.
Last Crusade's got a great transition, and Temple of Doom has it's not the reveal of him, but it's the reveal further down when he gets slowly lit by the minecart that's coming towards him, when he catches the thuggy guard trying to beat up the kid. That's an amazing reveal. But we'll talk about that when we watch that.
Alfred Molina.
Old Alfred Molina,
yeah, great villain in Spider-Man 2.
He's
One
great.
of his early roles, and I think it was his first day on shooting. He had to have those tarantulas on his back.
Yeah.
God,
and those tarantulas wouldn't move. And
let's put a female on.
Yeah, Spielberg was like, the tarantulas, I need them to move. So the wrangler went, I'll get in the move, and stuck a female on on him. So all the male transfers start going mad. And Alfred Molina's like going, Christ, what's going on?
I mean, this is obviously, I think pretty due to Lucas recommending to Spielberg you should use Elstree.
Yeah.
And this was where Spielberg basically became the home of Spielberg, wasn't it?
And it was all the point. 80s. It was all part of the cost-effective way they wanted to do this. And going back to that, this really changed Spielberg, his attitude. This film, and it's why whenever you hear Spielberg talking about Lucas, even to this day, Spielberg has all the reverence for Lucas and considers him an extremely valuable collaborator in his life because he says Lucas basically saved him by getting him involved with this film and making him promise to bring it in under budget.
Yeah,
because they had such a crazy deal with Paramount, such an amazing deal in their favour, but that deal would flip in the favour of Paramount if they went 1 cent over budget.
Yeah.
So Spielberg promised George Lucas that he would stay under budget, and he did. And he said it just totally changed it. But the thing is that he's shooting everything so wonderfully, and you don't really stylistically. There's no difference between this and Jaws and Close Encounters when you look at them, because he just his natural ability to cover scenes in the most elegant ways is just present. It's just second nature to him.
He's always so good with the CinemaScope format. He doesn't. You see so many films now where they're just constantly just having close-ups all the time using this wide-angle format. It's like you're wasting the frame.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're not setting the geography of the location correctly either. I mean, Spielberg, you kind of know exactly what everything kind of looks like, how things are playing.
100%. A shot that comes up, a shot that always reminds me of that comes up like when he's lowering himself into the map room. And he's coming right down on the left-hand side of the frame, and you've just got this empty wall covering most of the rest of the frame. Yeah. It's wonderful.
You look at it and think, this would seem so easy in some regard, because you think everything just seems so logically shot. Like that's the perfect angle. There's no, you don't need to shoot from a different position. And obviously this moment here is another sort of iconic moment of cinema. This whole opening sequence really is. Where obviously became this kind of a show attraction at was it Universal or Disney? Or
no, Disney Studios. Well, it was MGM Studios and then Disney Studios.
Yeah, it's been spoofed many a time. The classic one with The Simpsons.
But you're just into this, and this is it is 100% inspired by Bond to have these cold openings.
Yeah.
And
Spielberg was so desperate to do a Bond
Spielberg
film.
really wanted to do a Bond film.
Was it the Broccoli's at the time had this sort of notion that it had to be done by the British directors? Didn't like
they were keeping it British, and also I don't think Spielberg would have gotten with their very heavy second unit way of doing things. Because all the action in this is Spielberg. Obviously we'll come up to the truck chase later, but that was really the first time Spielberg handed off.
That's right.
A big sequence with second unit.
You had to have the trust.
He just physically couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But it's storyboarded by Spielberg. The shots really are his. They're just following out his instructions. Obviously, giving it some oomph in their own way.
It's the sort of the union regulations. I think with the Lucas problem. Lucas had that issue with Star Wars, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't let him adjust the lighting. It's like that's not your job, son.
Yeah. He got in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
It's so different now, though. Although, actually, it's like that in the States now, but here
the British mentality's kicked in.
Whereas here it's literally roll your sleeves up, everyone muck in.
Ah,
here we go.
And this is obviously Vic Armstrong sort of became this. I think he became more familiar, didn't
Glenn
he?
Randall
to
is
the general
doubling,
public because he was.
Glenn Randall is doubling Harrison Ford in this movie.
Yeah, right, okay.
Not Vic Armstrong.
So it's Temple of Doom.
It's Temple of Doom but it was on this that, as legend has it, Steven Spielberg mistook Vic Armstrong for Harrison Ford.
Ah, that's right.
Called out to him as Harrison, and it was at that moment that they were like, "Well, if we do another one of these, we should get him to double Harrison."
There was this. There
we go. Look at that.
There was this great. I think someone quoted sort of Harrison Ford, because he obviously shot so many movies at Elstree Studios, he called it Borstree. It's
right,
so boring. So if you go outside the studio, it's like the town itself.
It's literally the worst place in the country to do anything.
Yeah. It's got a wimpy. It's got a wimpy there.
It's got a wimpy there. It's all right. It's got a Costa there now. So good, because again, it's cliffhanger after cliffhanger after cliffhanger in the first 10 minutes of this film. Boom.
Which is kind of
so
like
good.
This is like one episode of a serial.
Yeah,
and then find out next week what happens. To
exactly.
Dr.
Which is exactly the model they were going for. And they said that they wanted to make sure that each reel was like the end of an episode, a cliffhanger. I love the way he look. I mean, we're going to get into Harrison Ford soon, but he is freaking sublime in this.
This is the time when they were editing this, he was being cast to play Deckard in Blade Runner.
Yeah,
and they were just like, unsure if he could. Obviously, jumping from him playing Han Solo and jumping to play another sci-fi film.
Yeah,
and Spielberg was like, he's going to be a huge star.
Yeah.
Once it's released, and he did. Even though he was kind of, this familiar name due to Star Wars, but this really cemented him as the A-lister.
Yeah, this was it. But also, what people, because everyone associates him with being grumpy and not enjoying things, because he didn't like Star Wars, didn't like making Star Wars films, but he loves making these movies, which is why he still wants to do it at 103 years old. he loves making these movies. I think he obviously just gets on so well with Spielberg. There's a great filmmaking collaboration going on there. And this movie is the result of perfect collaboration between, balanced collaboration between Spielberg, Lucas, Kasdan, and Harrison Ford.
And Kasdan, sort of became this, we sort of improved Star Wars, really, Empire and Jedi.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that,
most of us regard Empire as the best script in this, by far, in the Star Wars universe. Here we go. Right, and now suddenly this is where the iconic theme comes in. And all he does is swing on that brake, gets about 2 foot out,
he does,
and just flumps into the water.
It's like one of the kids want to do that, by a lake. Look at me! You think we go very far, did you?
I can remember this, and I remember hearing this music, and I think this was where I was like, This is my world.
You lost your shit then, didn't you?
This is my thing. I freaking love this.
It's interesting that there's, with this film as well, there is like kind of the focus, like there's like vibration on the camera causing the focus to slightly go out in some of the scenes. Have you noticed? There's always one where he's in the vehicle and he's like later on in the
they're strapping cameras to moving vehicles, so you've got that engine vibration going on, like on that plane.
I always thought my vision was going funny. I was like, no, it's vibration now. I'm having a migraine. This is a great moment here where he's also completely unaware that he is an attractive man.
Yeah,
he just completely doesn't care. But he's like he's not full of himself. He doesn't.
He's the most effortlessly. He's the perfect hero as far as I'm concerned. He's effortlessly heroic. He's effortlessly cool, but he's not trying to be.
Yeah.
And anytime there's any action going on, he just doesn't want to be there. He's not an action junkie. He's just in over his head all the time.
Yeah.
And the look on his face is, I'd rather just be, sitting down having a cup of tea.
But also, all these guys I sort of referred to earlier about how he looks, but all the girls are also infatuated with him.
Yeah. It's all mainly girls in that classroom, all just staring at him. He's the epitome of the movie star, Harrison Ford, at this time. He's absolutely brilliant. And this is and then he just doesn't know how to handle this.
I love how, because it's also it's this side is his Clark Kent.
Yeah.
Then he takes.
Yeah.
He has. He always has the glasses when he's teaching, and when he's Indiana Jones, he doesn't. He takes them off.
Yep.
That's their sort of like this throwback to a superhero and his alter ego.
I love the kid that puts an apple on the desk here.
Yeah.
And then Denham Elliott just takes it. He just plonks it down there. There's so many lovely wide-angle tracks through doors in this movie.
The camera's always moving around.
Yeah. Well, I use lots of moments in this film when I'm talking to students and talking to kids about how a director covers a scene and what he does. I use stuff from this movie because I think it's so perfectly done.
There was debate. I think Khan, The Last Crusade. I think Spielberg really wanted the film. His films, the most recent Indiana Jones, to be in widescreen on videotape, but Paramount was adamant against it because he was so sick of the pan and scanning of his movies and the sort of framing and.
Right, this scene here, the way this scene is covered, this is an exposition scene, and it's so well acted by these guys.
Oh, it's the dude from Star Wars, isn't it? What was his name? He's in Superman 4.
Yes.
Shut those blinds. The sun is hitting my eyes. That was
Cover me, Porkins.
Yeah, Porkins. Yeah.
Top men.
These are the moments I always love with the Indiana Jones films, where Indy would educate someone else on what the enemies are, on what's
exactly
basically setting up the plot with
and
great exposition.
and therefore educating the audience.
Yeah,
so it's pure exposition, but because of his nature as being a professor, it's absolutely appropriate for him to do so.
There's always a moment though when he's educating someone, he finds something out as well. So he's just like, this connects A and B.
Yeah,
you know?
But like this shot that started off wide and then jibbed down to this angle, and you get Harrison Ford's hand coming in, and all this stuff. There's an amazing shot coming up where it just cuts to the guy, and he just gives Harrison Ford a suspicious look because he's thinking that he might be a spy working for the Nazis. I love shots like this. You get that guy to move, to lean the other way to make space for Harrison Ford to then go that side of the frame. It's masterclass. It really is.
Marcus is kind of he only. It's a shame he doesn't really tag along too much with Indy, but I think Last Crusade he really shines, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, he's a different character.
He's played for comedy.
Yeah, whereas in this he's not that character at all. Yeah, this shot, the look he gives him. It's like,
I never noticed that.
He's like thinking, what's going on here? Because they think that Abner Ravenwood might be a spy.
It's interesting that it's playing up the American government, so to speak, is kind of keeping an eye on what the Nazis are doing. Even though they're not actually officially entered the war. There's no war's actually been kicked off yet.
Yeah, the war, but the Nazis are on the march now. Okay, again, this was one of the first times I ever really saw this happen, where you get this little exposition, this little diagram of something that you are going to see happen later. So you know what's going on when you get to that scene.
So this, this film itself, just really, once it came out, everyone became obsessed with it, with being this character, because you could easily pretend to be Indiana Jones. You as a child, if you wanted to be, a superhero, so to speak. It requires a lot of one's imagination, which kids always have plenty of, really. But Indiana Jones, all you got to do is just get the hat and jacket and a whip. I mean, getting a whip maybe slightly difficult for kids in the UK.
Well, you just got a rope.
You got a rope.
Pretended it was a whip. You get a groggy old rope at your dad's car.
Or you could have to use your dressing gown.
Dressing gown, belt. Yeah.
Belt, yeah.
Yep.
But there were toys for this movie as well, because capturing on the whole Star Wars thing. But the toys didn't do very well.
No,
and it came to the conclusion that this preferred to play as Indiana Jones, but not actually with the action figure of Indiana Jones.
This is Star Wars was about a world, whereas this is about a character.
That's right.
And you could easily just be that character.
Yeah. Right.
Coming up here is this shows the balls of Spielberg, right? This is
God balls.
Yeah, the man's got balls. But so here we have again another massive exposition scene, and here we go. Right, and this is all in one take. It's all in one shot.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah. And I never. And the thing is, it's not like a showboaty one where like a Zemeckis type thing. It's just subtle, and what it does is what, and I never realised it was a long time before I realised that there was no cut. I mean, there's a cut right at the end on the gun, but it's right at the very end, and it took me. I didn't realise it because you're not aware of it. But
this is Spielberg's way of efficiently getting stuff done.
Exactly, he's efficient. He's doing it efficiently, so once they've got this, they've got it. But he's locked into it. I mean, I don't know whether he did shoot any quick safety cutaways to be able to. He probably did, but it's still really brave. But look, the way we all move around, and these guys are hitting their marks. Focus is hitting their marks. Everyone's hitting their marks, and these guys are delivering this exposition so friggin' naturally. And then you've got this, and then when he starts talking about the arc, we start tracking in on Denham Elliott. Look, and Harrison Ford leads the frame, and then he comes walking back in.
And that's an important delivery.
It's
as
very
well,
important.
To get that right.
It's a very, very important moment, and Spielberg's not cut into it. He's look, it's all playing out in this one shot, and I think it's important because I think subconsciously as an audience member you're leaning in. You're leaning into all this. The cuts you're not getting jarred out by any cuts. You're just leaning in. It's brilliant. Yeah, and there's the one cut where, boom, and then look, right, okay, so that plane it can't float anymore. They couldn't get one that could really float. That's Dennis Muren going in, the ILM supervisor Dennis Muren going in the playing tote here.
Oh, he's the guy with he's the one with the paper.
Yeah. It's actually Dennis Muren. So so this was all shot at ILM in the parking lot, and the boat is the water is a comp. The boat is the plane there. That's Dennis Muren. That's not Ronald Lacey at all. And then. And of course you've got the matte painting in the background, but you've also got part of that matte painting. If you look at that matte painting on its own, you'll see that they've painted in the Pan Am on the plane on the matte painting, things like that. So this is all stock footage, but that shot to me is just sums up how friggin' brilliant and efficient this movie is.
Mm-hmm. Love that sort of 35mm grain to it as well.
Yeah,
nothing seems clean, slightly kind of rough around the edges.
Yeah, it's all very old-fashioned Hollywood feeling. Even at the time, 1981, this is still feeling old-fashioned.
But it's so modern in its execution, which kind of makes it doesn't feel dated, so to speak.
Well, even
the sound design, but Ben Burtt really kind of
the sound design is
amped up the punches and the gunfire. There's a few little Star Wars blaster sound effects. He's kind of mixed into them. Yeah, and the old Wilhelm buddy scream. Which sick of.
Well, these were the movies that did the Wilhelm.
I want a supercut of one film by Ben Burtt's every sound effect is a Wilhelm scream.
Actually, everything, every line of dialogue, everything is a Wilhelm scream. But what I don't think Spielberg and Lucas, I guess, realised that what they were doing. Because if you think, because this is nostalgic to them, right? This for them is nostalgia. They are calling back to the things that they grew up with as kids, right? Now you can say that that's what's happening now. Everyone's nostalgic, but for some reason at this time, it was just a perfect sort of storm of going back to old Hollywood traditions, but doing it with new technologies and this new energetic bunch of filmmakers.
Yeah.
That, it's like we've always... This is good. The guy collapses. But it's like when we discuss films like Kroll and things like that, where they feel old-fashioned. They feel... They're made by filmmakers that were
slightly out of touch with what was going on.
Whereas
like
this
Black
is
Hole,
exactly. Yeah. Whereas these guys were, this was the new batch, and they brought this insane energy and pure love of filmmaking. I mean, there's one thing that the Indiana Jones movies are about to me. Well, the first three anyway is the craft of filmmaking. You just feeling the craft of filmmaking sort of oozing out of these films.
Everything feels handmade.
Yeah,
that's the thing. It's and their work with this one, especially out of the original trilogy, because of each one the budget's got higher and higher.
Yeah.
But they still kind of retain. Even Last Crusade retains that sort of roughness to it.
Ironically, I think Last Crusade's got some of the worst effects out of the entire...
Yeah, it's like, Temple of Doom for me.
No way. There's some of the obstacles in Last Crusade are even worse than Temple of Doom.
Sequence, yeah. They should have shot those things on front projection, not blue screen. Fools. But this one really feels like these are guys who are working with quite a small budget. We inherently know they do. But it feels like everyone's working overtime. Everyone's putting their all into it.
Yep.
And they know they've got this kind of very short amount of time to get it done.
Yeah. And you also feel that they feel that they're creating something good here. So this is magic.
Do you feel that there's because we were discussing how directors who were trying to capture sort of the energy of the past with some of these films that were made by older people who was then actually felt quite out of touch what was actually going on with the youth and what they wanted to see.
Yeah.
With Spielberg and Lucas had this kind of rose-tinted view of the past.
Yeah.
That inherently makes it work far better in their favour because they're they've given you the action serials, but they're actually kind of done with that energetic, youthful style.
Yeah.
To give it that, because you were saying how cinema kind of the early 80s were kind of shifting a little bit, where because the 70s was very much gritty kind of realism.
Yeah.
Where this was playing it back into the sense of fun and joy of action and adventure, because it all shifted really. Because the thing I'm making at the moment, the documentary, because action shifted heavily, and Raiders of the Lost Ark was really, along with Mad Max 2, was a catalyst of the next wave of action.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily put this film in, you think of action cinema of the 80s, and you think of the Rambos and stuff and Commandos, but Raiders inherently is actually part of that as well, even though it's action adventures kind of thing.
Absolutely.
Action is still very much part of it.
Yeah.
And Spielberg, even though he's not an action director, can shoot action just as well as anyone else who deals with that genre.
Yeah, freaking amazing.
So it just showed how he was, this director who could just tackle anything and not, for a long time, not falter at all. Or just be... but he was always criticised for being too schmaltzy, wasn't he? That was the thing. And this kind of... what was this?
There was a huge snobbery about him at the time.
Yeah,
and it really wasn't until Schindler's List that he got.
He always made shitloads of money.
Yeah, that he got accepted. But I still say that you watch a film like this, and if you're talking about the art form of filmmaking, right? We're not talking about scripts, but I am talking about scripts, but more scripts on a structural level, not scripts that are trying to tackle important issues. And you're just looking at this from the point of view of the craft of filmmaking. It is one of the greatest examples of it, and it is in my mind a work of art. And the snobbery around Spielberg at the time, it It was jealousy. I mean, it was jealousy, a lot of it, and he's not perfect. He could overstep the schmaltzy mark on occasion. He could do things wrong, but in a movie like this, he is firing on all cylinders, and his taste and tone is spot on. His way of as we've discussed, shooting this stuff is second to none. It's a kind of filmmaking that I miss, desperately. That you just don't see anymore because big movies now are just shot to hell and assembled. Whereas this is a movie you feel his hand guiding you every frame of this movie, and that's what I love. And there are some people that I guess don't like that. They like the more kind of loose, naturalistic kind of filmmaking. But I think that you're an idiot if you don't at least sort of say, no, look, this is a guy in total command of this craft at this time. So he had his detractors, but I think
they came along with. I think his first kind of hiccup, or people had criticised him for maybe he wasn't the right director for the material, was The Colour Purple. That was because he didn't take enough risks to sort of to be.
That's what they because
he sort of dialed it back for sort of Spielberg level of sort of playing things a little bit probably too safe.
Yeah,
maybe.
he brought it in, and which I still think that's a great film, but I do get that criticism.
I think it was till later on that he really did not hold back.
Yeah, well, Schindler's List was really the kind of the changing of him, but I do miss this Spielberg. I miss this one, this pure joyous love of the magic of cinema.
It's always going to be difficult to for him to go back to that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, because
he goes back, and sometimes more successfully than others.
Quite work.
And he's still, I'll still watch everything he does, and everything he does is still gonna. I still see the brilliant sort of just wonderful eye he's got
in Ready Player One.
Yeah,
you think that's still the Spielberg we love.
He's still doing
many sequences.
Yeah, but it's this period where
he was just on fire.
Yeah, this was
on fire as well.
Yeah, there you go. This was just where the timing was right, and the thing is that you had in the 70s, you had all these movie brats, and they were all. they were all mates, and they were all freaking successful. I mean, here George Lucas, he muses about it sometimes. Like, I can't believe that every single one of us, was as successful as we were. And because they were basically a bunch of mates, and every single one of them really excelled. But the thing is that the reason Lucas, but in particular Spielberg, became as big as they were, is because they weren't cynically, and he wasn't cynically making movies like this, going, how do I cynically put together a crowd pleaser? It's his natural taste and his natural, spirit of filmmaking is in tune with making crowd pleasing movies. So he's making movies out of pure love here. It's not a cynical ploy to get money, to get as big an audience as possible. It's just my taste is in tune with the audience's taste, and so here we go. And it's wonderful. This is a plot point that is genius, I think.
And he just goes,
where how the Nazis get their own headpiece of the Staff of Raw, and then it turns out it's only got markings on one side.
Yeah.
And then all you do, and then just a little while later, and you're still not quite sure how that happened, and then it cuts to Ronald Lacey doing the Heil Hitler. And it's the fact that it's on a Heil Hitler. He lifts up his hand to reveal the markings.
That first little moment of India, because Harrison does it in each film, where he's like, oh.
Yeah. The old
panic.
Shit am I dead face that he does. It's great.
And he always I love the moment when he goes in to speak to Mary. He's got that sort of cheeky wink and smile to try and get his own way from her. Yeah, try and charm her. Yeah, because he can.
There's a generation of us that modelled ourselves after him. Whenever you were trying to chat up women, you were like, what would Harrison Ford do? How would Harrison Ford do this?
Because he does a little bit of that in Jedi. We're just like, hey, it's me.
Yeah, exactly. That little cheeky chappy. But he just happens to be, have the freaking looks of a film star. So, But here we go. Now we're in Cairo.
Indeed.
Old John Reese, yeah. Now, his part was originally going to be... Well, they offered it to Danny DeVito, originally.
That would have been quite amusing, actually.
I know. Well, it's
loud.
I believe Sulla means sprout or something like that, which I believe is why they were going to give it to Danny DeVito. And then I guess now it's just kind of ironic that this big booming...
Yeah, theatrical man,
John Rhys Davies.
He had a second wave of success really with Lord of the Rings, didn't he? Because was he that sort of TV show? Was it Sliders he was in or something like that?
Yeah, Sliders. Yeah.
He spent the rest of Lord of the Rings, on his knees.
Yeah,
every time the camera was on him. I saw what's her name again? Karen
Allen.
Karen Allen, yes. I was at a Comic-Con. It was around the time Superman Returns came out because Brandon Routh was signing autographs, and Karen Allen had not done Indy at that point, the fourth one,
right?
And it was winding up the end of the day, and she wasn't signing any autographs, but she was kind of sitting there still. She was just sitting there knitting. With her glasses on, like a proper mum.
Yeah,
that could easily be someone's mum just walked on and just sat there.
It's like it's Marion Ravenwood.
Yeah.
I mean, what a name, Marion Ravenwood. Yeah. It's such a great name. I think Lawrence Kasdan came up with that.
She was also wonderful in Starman.
Yes.
Great movie. That's a Carpenter film that people have asked me to review so many times over the years, and I need to do it because it's such a good film, and it showed that Carpenter could do something that was not just horror and action or whatever.
Oh, it's beautiful. It was so heartfelt. It's such a
kind of a romance, really.
Yeah. See, my favourite sound effect in this film is the God wind. There's a sound effect that I call the God wind, and it's a wind that it really harps up when they're with the man translating the headpiece, and when he goes, but take back this measurement that's on the other side, and the wind all starts harping up, and you have this godlike breathy wind. It's brilliant.
Now, this is the moment. This is obviously doing this the making of this film. Everyone got food poisoning.
Yep.
And I think a lot of the actors. I think Spielberg had stuck to eating out of cans.
Yep. He'd imported all his food because he was a fussy eater.
Yeah.
No.
And Harrison also, ate the local food. So you see moments where he's literally dripping with sweat. He's holding in shit.
He's holding it all in. He's in a bad way, man. He's in a bad way.
Just a bit when he shoots the guy.
Yep.
You see him because he's literally holding him down. So
and he just turns to Spielberg and goes, "Can't I just shoot the sucker?" Okay, this took, I believe, 50 takes to get this monkey to do a Heil Hitler salute.
Really?
Yeah. And what they're doing is they're dangling a grape just out of shot.
Oh, yeah.
And getting him to try and catch it.
I had to get my nephew to look at the camera a little bit because I had to put a bunch of keys in front of him, shake him off camera to make him look. It's like, fuck's sake, it still works as well. Kids can be fooled.
Yep. And monkeys. I think that's Frank Welker doing the sounds of the monkeys.
Just bring him in to do that.
Yeah.
Frank, we need your help.
I just love the way these guys are randomly standing to attention in this. He's like, right, let's go. And I just love the decision to make this whole fight scene sort of just kind of a screwball knockabout piece of fun.
Yeah, a little bit slapstick too. Yeah. But because Ravenwood, Karen Allen's character, she's got that sort of not Kathleen, what's the lady from Romancing the Stone? Kind of similar.
Kathleen Turner.
Kathleen Turner, sorry, yeah. Where it's a very similar, because Romancing the Stone is very kind of plays in the Indiana Jones thing. It's very similar sort of. She's a bit of a, she could have been a good Lois Lane, actually.
Yeah, she could have been a great Lois Lane.
Yeah, she's very sort of gung-ho and sort of doesn't take any shit.
Okay, look the way this guy takes out two other guys behind him. This is the best punch.
Oh, it's like someone punching those of sand or something.
Yeah. The Indiana Jones punch sound is
wonderful.
It's as iconic as the lightsaber noise. Look, I love the way this. How did the fruit get on the end of that?
There's also great behind the scenes footage of Harrison at back of Elf Street practicing with the whip.
Yeah,
trying to get it right. I wonder if Harrison can still do it. I'm sure he can.
I bet he can.
It's a second nature now.
Yeah. God, yeah, I mean, he's done it so much, yeah.
You know.
You bring a frying pan to a knife fight.
Yeah, you should do right with the frying pan.
Yeah, she's got good swing with that. Well, she does. Look, because it's so stupid.
Yeah, it's such a cheap gag.
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
But you can see it's all efficient.
Yeah, this is all in. This again, one shot. Them going in there, boom, he falls out. She comes in. These guys come running around. Again, it's all one shot.
It kind of plays out like a play.
Yeah, you know? No, exactly. Yeah. But I'm a huge, strong believer that this kind of filmmaking, even though a lot of it's been done for efficiency reasons, I still think that it's instrumental in making a movie just flow, flow better.
It's rhythm and
stuff
like that. Yeah.
And which is why I strive to do that kind of stuff as much as possible, whether I need just because I feel the rhythm needs it.
It doesn't need 5 cameras running at once.
No,
to
absolutely
capture
not.
Every angle, If you play
here
that
we go.
in your head,
Here we go. There he is. Yeah. Hold it in, Harrison. Hold it in. Hold it in.
I mustn't put too much stress on my body because
here we go.
The world will fall out my
and
nose.
that is one of the funniest gags in cinema history.
It's great, isn't it?
I
love how in Come Temple of Doom, he goes to reach for his gun. He's like,
yeah, and Williams quotes the score, quotes the same bit of music for that moment. It's so good, even though that's a prequel.
Kitty.
It's so good. And I love this shot where he runs right into it, boom, and then we track back. Little bit of a focus buzz, but who cares?
Yeah, focus buzz.
Then look, and then it just goes into this whole shot of him ripping down all these. It's great.
My dirty underwear, what are you doing? I love as Harrison's run is, it's
iconic.
It hasn't really kicked in yet. The proper old man hips.
They're kind of doing it there. It's the way he loves to wave his arms around.
Yeah. Sort of lumbering lumberjack, and he's like,
But that's what I love about him. He's not. He again by looking kind of like a bit of a dick. He looks so cool.
People try to get money off him. Bloody peasants.
Just throws money. Yeah. Boom. And again, there's no rhyme or reason as to why suddenly that truck is there, because that wasn't. The geography makes no sense.
That's a great explosion.
But it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's a hell of an explosion.
Sound design is great.
Yeah, and what a great shot, doing it, having Harrison Ford just run into that shot.
Because me and Tim, because you had listened to sort of Tim's recent commentaries where we were discussing sort of the British.
It's wonderful, by the way. Tim's great.
The British sound design of you kind of reusing a lot of the same stock sound effects.
Yeah, all
explosions and stuff,
yeah.
and especially come like Batman in '89, where this in '81, where Ben Burtt was really modernising.
So ahead of the game. So ahead of the game.
Yeah. It's funny, isn't it, how they the British sort of took a while to catch up with with the modernisation of explosions and. We
were really behind the game when it came to post production for a long time, like production wise. I mean, because we're doing most of this, crew wise, and Spielberg and Lucas love working with the British crews. So when it comes to achieving all this stuff, we were great at it. But post production, we were years behind the States. During the 80s.
Frustration Horner had with trying to patch in a keyboard into...
When he was doing the Alien score, yeah.
Yeah, it's like it was so out of
At Abbey Road, yeah. So this scene, the way this scene is covered, the way we hold on this shot in a little bit where it's just focused on Belloc and Indy is just out of focus in the foreground for the whole kind of monologue. And because he's pissed at the moment, right? He's a bit drunk. He's a bit all over the place, Indy.
Yeah, he's completely lost. He's kind of like shattered now, isn't he? He's just like...
Look at the way he does that. But look, we track down into this shot.
Oh yeah, the guns.
Great, yeah,
yeah.
so the gun,
Sometimes you completely miss that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like this shot here, look, it's Harrison Ford dominating the screen, and he's in darkness, and he's blurry, and we never pull focus to him. We always stay on Paul Freeman, which is his speech about we are the same. You know, I'm a shadowy reflection of you, and he's the one in darkness and looking all evil. It's brilliant. But it's natural storytelling. It's natural visual storytelling. And it's just to have the confidence to hold on a shot like this throughout this entire dialogue scene. And look, how the frame is being used. You know, that watch is right on the edge of the frame there.
It's slightly out of frame now. I'm going to try to keep that in. It's interesting trying to think in the history of time when did the world knew that Nazis were a threat? Because this is before, this is 1936, 36, right? So I don't think it was. I think there were concerns, but some people thought that the Nazis were a good thing for Germany at the time. I think there was an impression wasn't. Because when they had the Olympics, they were all kind of, Germany was praised for how it was organised, and
and Hitler was Time Magazine's Man of the Year.
Yeah.
At one point,
I think that who's, I mean, this is obviously all fictional, you know, but it's
I think
are portrayed as the main bad guys, but then people would maybe have some doubt that what they're doing is kind of wasn't a problem.
Yeah,
I don't know.
There's no way that people were keeping an eye on the Nazis, and they. I'm trying. I need to refresh my memory in the history books, but what years they started to move into other countries and start to
become a threat.
Start doing it. But I mean, obviously, it was until 1939 that the war kicked off that we said no more when they went into Poland.
He's got my monkey.
Again, I just love the atmosphere in this scene. And you can hear the call to prayer in the distance echoey.
Is this the moment you were talking about with the God sound?
Yeah, this is where the God wind harps up in a minute.
Oh, they try to poison him, don't they? When the monkey eats the berries or whatever.
Again, one shot, still the same shot from Harrison Ford looking out the things. Just keep it in there. And then just one little cutaway.
That kid has got like a grown-up's face. It's really weird.
It's like Deep Roy.
yeah. Do you think this bit's shot in Elstree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
This photography is so good, isn't it?
It's great, isn't it?
Incredible stuff.
The sets are brilliant.
I think he'd gone blind, hadn't he, later on, the DP, didn't he?
Dougie Slocum.
Yeah.
He definitely had eye problems when he was a lot older. He didn't die that long ago.
Yeah, he lived to like late 90s, I think.
Yeah, it was only a few years ago he died. And he was getting on here.
So yeah, when it comes to Indy having to sort of, play it a bit seriously, the glasses go back on.
Yeah, The professor is back. Here we go. This is where the wind starts up. That noise.
Yeah. If that happened like on cue, you mentioned something that's kind of
you'd be like
text. You'd be like, ooh,
I'd be like, you know what?
Creepy.
I'm getting on the plane and going home.
Yeah. I've got Bake Off to watch.
They're digging in the wrong place. It's brilliant. Dead monkey. Bad dates.
That's a great shot.
Yeah,
it's
brilliant.
Down with the fan.
Yeah.
God,
yeah.
Everything. Yeah, everything is so well composed.
It's perfect, isn't it?
Yeah, you just couldn't imagine this. It's some moron at Paramount decided, like, "Are we going to remake this?" You'd be like, "Fucking mad!"
This is where
it doesn't need to be remade. This could be re-released.
This is where
and
movies are not movies.
Money.
Movies are about execution as much as they are about story and these days IP. You know, just because it's something that was successful, it's like, yeah, but it was successful because because these filmmakers did it at this time in their careers and it all worked and it was great. This film isn't brilliant because it's an adventure story and it's like, oh, everyone likes Indiana Jones because it's an adventure film. It's like, no, everyone likes Indiana Jones. Everyone loved Raiders of the Lost Ark because it was an extremely well executed adventure story, and that's not something you remake. You know, it's almost the opposite of remaking something. You know, is to do it differently.
Have you seen that? I think it's on Netflix. That sort of making of Indiana Jones sort of fan movies, or
people
sort of recreating these great scenes, like as teenagers or kids or whatever, with the home video cameras and doing it very successfully. Actually, sort of the people's love for this film over the years, where, as you were saying earlier, where people weren't really obsessed with the toys of Indiana Jones. That's why I don't think they bothered with Temple of Doom and Last Crusade.
Okay, look, this shot. I love this. I just love the framing of this. The way he's on the left there, and you just, and then this is my favourite bit of the score. This is the god,
the arc scene,
this is just friggin' hell. This just does me in. This music it is so fucking good. Well, I saw this at the Royal Albert Hall with a live orchestra doing the score.
Oh, because you saw the whole film.
The whole film with a live,
doing Empire soon, aren't they?
Yep, doing Empire with it. Yeah, I've seen this. I've seen E.T. I've seen Close Encounters, Jaws.
Buying tickets, Brad. Buy one.
And I was supposed to do Star Wars, but I was in the States working. And then, but we've got Empire Strikes Back in September. Oh, so hopefully,
that's when my birthday is, Brad.
Is it now?
No, say no more.
Oh, is it now? It's also when my birthday is. But,
I'll buy you one. You buy me one. Swapsies. But the iconic shot, isn't it, when he puts the staff in and the light comes through and you
again, and we've already had it explained to us.
Yeah,
we've seen it.
But
we know what's going on.
Execution is just magical.
Exactly. Exactly, and it takes its time. You know, this is pure music and action working,
and also it's you're following you're getting invested in a hero, but who's also a teacher and a scientist.
Yeah,
that
he's a nerd as well.
Yeah,
he's a nerd.
Yeah, and it wasn't this kind of this guy's ex-military guy. Blah,
yeah,
blah.
No,
absolutely not. Someone who's well educated.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
And I'm sure this encouraged loads of people to want to be into archaeology.
Yeah, it did. Yeah,
like
it did. A lot of
these are the fun parts, but
it's
like some of my friends. Nat, my girlfriend, has done some archaeology in the past. It's not as exciting.
No, not quite. But you're a little bit of an idiot if you think that this is what it's really like
as well.
Yeah,
But
here we go. This is. I almost don't want to talk over this bit because the music.
Perhaps a commentary.
Just shut up and listen to this music. It's one of the best pieces of music ever written. Just that's a great shot. It is just the best. It's kind of like the opposite of what Goldsmith did for Omen. Whereas Omen kind of depicted the devil musically so perfectly. This to me is depicting the power of God so perfectly. It's freaking brilliant. John Williams was again. Obviously we bang on about John Williams, but how instrumental he was of this period. Again, we talk about this perfect storm of all these guys coming together to make these films. Williams is totally a part of that.
Do you see that bit there where where it's got like graffiti on it?
Yeah.
Is it Night Taken or something like that?
Oh, I don't know. I never noticed that.
That's a good optical.
Yeah, it's great. That. So this is all Richard Edlund.
Yes. Yep. It was after Poltergeist. He left to do that boss film, didn't he?
After Jedi.
After Jedi.
Yeah.
Okay. It was very quickly, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, wouldn't it? Yeah, the next year, because Ghostbusters in 2010 were 84, and Jedi was 83.
Yeah.
But that's why we're gonna late. In a little while we're gonna start getting some Richard Edlund lightning, which always always makes me hard.
Yeah. It's
a form
sort of Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah,
kind
exactly.
Of lightning,
which everyone knows. When I say this guy did this lightning, it was his animation style, and I say, look, you think this, you think Poltergeist, you think Ghostbusters, you think Big Trouble in Little China, you think even Masters of the Universe.
Yeah.
They've all got that beautiful animated sort of flowing lightning feel, which I'm desperate to bring back.
Oh yeah. I also like the sort of the James Cameron, the Terminator one was big, thick, chunky ones. Like,
the
fantasy too.
It's almost like they filmed what do you call it? Those static ball things.
Yeah,
it's like,
that's right.
But yeah, I think one of the best examples of it is the lightning coming out of the Emperor's hands in Jedi. It's really just the way it's just wrapping around Luke and. This is so good. He's like, I'm going to leave you here. He's like, if I rescue you now,
because it'll blow everything.
Yeah,
because then he's got to essentially hide her or protect her. He needs to keep numbers low.
Yeah. Well, and also if she's gone, even if they don't think he took her, they're going to comb the place for her. So it's going it's going to.
The little bit motif of the love theme.
Yep.
Well, because it's like Superman as well, isn't it? Where he's got the main theme and the love theme mixed in.
Yep. And now we've brought in this whole Power of God theme.
Doing a bit of surveying.
Yep. It's great. It's just there on its own. No one paying any attention to it. And he's like, that's it. That's where it is.
I love how the little telescope's all weathered. The paint's chipped off it.
Yep.
Just that little attention to detail.
And here we have the great reveal. And I love the way Belloc's got a thing for Marion.
Yeah, but it also shows he's not a complete monster. He's all about the money. He's not.
He's quite an interesting character.
Yeah, he's not a classical villain.
No. Here we go. Yes, that's brilliant. I remember everyone in the audience just creasing up at that because it's such a great reveal. And so Ronald Lacey, of course, who of course is very well known to me as the Bishop of Bath and Wells in Blackadder 2.
Oh God, that was I kept thinking to myself,
your bottom wish had never been born.
Never been born.
Yeah.
I'm a colossal pervert.
I'm a colossal pervert, Blackadder.
Do anything to anyone,
Oh God.
Well, that's very grainy, that image there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, look at that shot here. God.
Look at that.
Good Lord. Such a good... Oh, that's iconic.
Look.
He puts a hat on.
Yeah. Oh, look. Come on.
Side angle.
You can't beat that. That's cinema right there. Look at it. It's everything cinema is.
This is David Lean stuff.
Yeah. It's freaking wonderful. Here we go.
Oh,
Here we go. Here we get some Edlund lighting now.
Yeah, it's the Gozer moment.
Yeah. There we go. Here we go. Come on. Yes. 1980s blue screen.
They actually on set added the lighting of the lightning.
Yep.
So the optical there hadn't faded either. It wasn't faded at all, like transparent.
Look, it's great. It's so dramatic. It's like God isn't happy. It's like the wrath of God when they're gonna open up the well of souls.
Don't touch that.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Look! Oh God, it's so good. he really sells that well. How heavy that is.
It's kind of a weird shot, isn't it? Those inserts of the because that shot works wonderfully, but those ones seem a little bit like they just can't pick up, so just put it.
Yeah, well, so I think it's because you've only got one blue screen there, so they're where they're supposed to be, going around the 360 degrees. They're actually just bringing the same actor in the actor into the same place. Sorry, Indy.
It's a bit of a melting.
yeah.
Oh yes, his worst fear, isn't it? Snakes.
It's brilliant.
So, what's your worst fear? Would it be spiders or snakes?
Oh,
full of spiders.
Spiders.
Yeah.
Big, hairy, bloody spiders. Yeah. Yeah.
God, I just couldn't know. I'm like, sod it.
Yeah.
Let them have it. Let them have it.
Yeah. It's like it's all yours.
Yeah.
But they had
go in, like,
so
big body
many.
armor or something.
Yeah, I mean they lost so many of these snakes. I think Boreham Wood had a massive influx of its snake population when they shot this, and they just didn't have enough. So they had to bring in lizards that didn't have any legs, and then half these things are hose pipes just thrown around the place as well.
God.
Yeah, they did not have enough.
Because I know the shot coming up, isn't it, where he's got the glass between him and a snake. When the python goes up and it's like looking at him.
Yeah, which they've taken out now. They've taken out the reflection.
Yeah, and that was it. Yeah,
it's the one bit of jiggery pokery Spielberg has done and kept.
Well, yeah, it was a funny thing, wasn't it? Because there was a point where he was going to do a bit of a George Lucas on these films.
Well, he did on E.T. and he regretted it.
And the guys at South Park, took the piss out of him.
Yeah,
and for one episode, and Spielberg wrote a letter in sort of to Trey Parker and Matt Stone saying, "Hey, now I'm the sort of the bad guy in the South Park world," and I think they kind of encouraged him not to do it.
Yeah,
so we'll just subtly thank the guys at South Park for not letting Spielberg go too far.
I love Stone and Parker anyway. I think they're geniuses.
It's to re-release of Saving Private Ryan. All the guns being replaced with walkie-talkies. Oh, bad. I'd love to see that, actually, just for the shits and giggles.
And I love the way you go. So this is a set, and you got in the background. You obviously just got a guy out there with an HMI light swinging it around.
Yeah,
and then and an actor just standing there doing.
This will be the security guard.
Yeah, giving a shadow.
I love her because she thinks she can drink him under the table, but he's so used to the wine because it's actually his family.
Yeah, it's his family label.
Yeah. So I'm drinking it since he was a kid.
Now I do believe in the book
or the film, adaptation,
the book, the
novelization,
the novelization. It states because that Indy and her banging on about their past,
right.
And that she was very young. I think in the book it states she was 14.
Really?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Different times, ladies and gentlemen.
Days, in
different times.
It was perfectly fine. Yeah. I actually quite a few enjoyed some of those novelizations. The Ghostbusters one as a kid, that was a brilliant read, and the Star Wars one, A New Hope. I'd watched a movie like probably 10 times at that point when I was like 8 years old. But the book was such a good read.
And you just wanted to read the book. Yeah,
it's weird. I did actually pick up the Alien Covenant one to sort of see, if it would be better than the film. Something may have been left out,
right?
Story-wise, and it wasn't particularly an interesting read, unfortunately. It's basically down to the script, isn't it? Really, the Superman 3 novelization is pretty interesting. They develop a lot of Richard Pryor's background.
Right. Yeah, because I always felt that movie needed more Richard Pryor.
This is how did he become a computer programmer? You know, he can't just come
Yeah,
by fluke,
yeah. How suddenly he does that. Yeah, yeah.
Hello, we just did it.
And I'm actually being facetious because I'm a Superman 3 defender.
Oh, so am I.
Yeah.
So's Edgar Wright.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, the man's got taste. That's quite horrible. The idea of those snakes getting burnt alive.
They should have had that Wilhelm scream. Then.
Yes. Loads of little Wilhelm.
Jaws 4 should have had the Wilhelm scream when the shark roars.
The shark roars, yeah.
Fucking hell.
That would be a good supercut to do. Just put the Wilhelm scream and all those sort of things. Yeah.
I wonder if Ben Burt's on Twitter. Just tag him.
Oh, here we go.
It's not actually. No, what is that? Vodka? Can't.
Yeah.
Must be something like that because it can't. It doesn't look like a traditional bottle of vodka,
No,
does it?
no.
It can't be wine or champagne. You can't just like you wouldn't neck champagne and go.
Yeah,
my throat. You know.
No, it's got to be vodka or some sort of rum.
It's like, the shadow, or if you see or when there's no light on India, but you just see his outline.
Yeah,
it's you know who it is.
Yeah,
and it's like
silhouette.
It's like Batman. You know exactly
Iconic
who it
silhouette.
Is.
And I think if you can do that, you've nailed it. You've created a character. If you can have a silhouette that is totally recognisable.
Did they have to like staple the hat onto his head sometimes, or like staple parts of it to give it that that sort of bend in the middle of it? You can,
to keep the iconic shape. Mm. Yeah, I didn't staple it to his head, but
I'm sure there's some parts where he's like, I see the behind the scenes. He's got a staple gun. It's going.
Well, no, he's taking the piss. That's in Last Crusade.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
because his hat kept falling off, so he just goes, that ought to do it. The way she just completely misses the glass.
It just looks like water, you know.
Yeah.
Got a bread knife. Watch out. Oh, like a butter knife, yeah.
The way he laughs.
He's like, yeah. Because he doesn't know. He knows what's behind her. Yeah. Well, no, he looks a little bit...
Yeah, no, that's where he sees...
reluctant,
Yeah, this is great. I love this line. You Americans are all the same. Always overdressing for the wrong occasions.
See, it's interesting how when films do... Actually, it was interesting with Captain America: The First Avenger, where they really kind of try to hide the sort of Nazi logo. Mm. Yeah, had it on a few of their badges, as we saw there.
This gag here was originally going to be in 1941. Christopher Lee did it in 1941.
Oh, right.
With the nunchucks that become a coat hanger.
Coat hanger, yeah.
But it didn't work, but he used it again.
Yeah. Well, how do you feel about that sort of them sort of hide if it's trying to be set in that contemporary in the 40s in that sort of Nazi period, some of them trying to hide it in some way, the Nazi logos. It just seems a little bit like, I don't know, come on. We know, we've seen so many films that have the Nazi.
Well, I think in a comic book movie, I don't have a problem with it, that you've got this that...
Because it was the other faction of like Hydra.
It's basically a fantasy version of the war. I don't have a real problem with that, to be honest.
I just thought it was kind of an interesting creative choice, but it seems a little bit like trying to be think it would be a risk, but I don't think it should be a problem.
Well, by not making it the actual Nazis, it just gives you license to be able to, do take liberties, doesn't it?
Mm.
And I don't. Yeah, it doesn't bother me. It's not like they're actually retelling proper war stories and going, but let's not put Nazis in it because it'll offend people. It's like, well, no, the Nazis were there. But if you're doing a comic book version of the war, I don't have a problem with that. But, I mean, you got this movie. I mean, swastikas all over this freaking film.
Yeah.
So much to the point that God burns one out.
yeah.
God literally takes out a swastika. Yeah. Lovely shot.
That's a big fat snake there.
Yeah, look at that.
That's a whopper.
I think old David Tomlinson, the first AD on this, got bit by a python.
God. I love this bit because he's trying not to swear, doesn't he? I think he's like, God,
Well, it's one of my favourite quoted lines is son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I'm always saying that. It's so good. I just love that cutaway to the snake going through a shoe.
Yeah.
It's like the decision to do that, but it just creates a moment.
It's like calling all over it. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, man, she would have been a great Lois Lane. Yeah,
she would have.
Surprised she didn't audition for it. It seems quite baffling, actually.
She was probably a tad too young at the time.
But it's not taking anything away from Margot. She's great.
No,
the first one. That's brilliant.
Yeah. Oh,
it's this cuts them off.
Yeah, it's really harsh, isn't it? It's horrible.
You think to yourself, okay, how did snakes get in here? That's the way to sort of figure out how they, a way out.
I just love the way he says, "Where'd you get this from him?"
Because he can be just as petty as her.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Bitching,
Oh God, yeah. No, he loves a dig.
Yeah. He has, his moments of jealousy.
Yeah. He's not mature at all.
Snake's like, there's a party in here, boys and girls. Come on.
So this is all at Elstree. It's all on the same stage they shot The Shining on.
This would have been... The Shining was shot... 1980, wasn't it? Yeah. Well, it's very interesting that Ilya Solkind had said that because of Superman 2's delay... Well, it's kind of because it was a 6 months gap between the release of it in Australia. It was 1980, and then 1981, and 6 months later, Superman 2 went up against Raiders, or about a week or two apart, and Superman 2 made did very well, but this
Yep.
he said he felt this kind of had a knock-on effect on its box office because this became everyone just was glued to it. Everyone every week people go back and back and back.
Yeah.
It became this.
And this is more. I mean, and the thing is, you are. I mean, as much as I love Superman 2, it's.
It has more energy.
The slickness to this, so that there's no, they are worlds apart in terms of.
With Spielberg has such a better eye than Lester, for capturing action and just sort of the drama of it all. I think really,
and the fun.
I'll take anything from Lester. Because Lester was like, very efficient. Just as efficient as Spielberg.
Lester's got his place in cinema history for sure. And do they actually put screaming sound effects?
That's odd, isn't it? Yeah. It's just jump scares, isn't it? Sound effects just thrown in.
It's like,
have some more.
It's really terrifying.
Yeah.
It's like, who said Spielberg doesn't have a sadistic side?
Yeah. It's his way, isn't it? Because it's him like teasing his sisters, so to speak.
Yep.
And that is these moments.
Oh yeah, he loves scaring people. Yeah. He does. And like I said, which he freely admits he got from scaring his sisters when he was a kid.
Yeah, it's always fun making your sisters jump. They also do it to me. So.
Just the way there's a bloke. Is he asleep or was he knocked out? Just lying there. There's not right there. They just come out of this random. Sort of
this wasn't this like the design of this plane it was actually something that was actually designed at the time but never actually put into.
I believe so.
Nazis never developed it.
Yeah,
I'm sure. Maybe I
believe it was a seat. Yeah,
it's a concept thing.
A concept plane
got put into production.
So that's Frank Marshall, the pilot.
Oh yeah, directed Congo. Mm-hmm. He's not one of the best.
And Arachnophobia and Alive.
That's a stronger film, isn't it? Arachnophobia.
Oh God, yeah.
I watched it once because I can't watch it again.
And Alive.
Spiders in it.
Alive is good.
Alive, yeah. Everyone starts eating each other. Yum, yum, yum.
This is so good, and also this is where Indy just fights dirty, And here we go.
Yeah,
Pat Roach.
Yeah, Pat Roach. Yeah.
There we go. The start of
I love
tradition.
This. He's like, punch up.
He's like,
I'm getting involved in this.
Shirt off.
It's like Mike Hangar from Final Fight. Because Pat Roach is in Willow, wasn't he? He also is in. He wasn't in Crusade, was he?
He is, but he was cut out.
He's cut out.
I mean, he's still in it slightly, but the fight scene was cut out.
Yeah. This is brilliant. This part because Indy's just like, it's like,
yeah. He's like, oh, right.
This guy kind of wants to play, doesn't he? Like,
He's like, come on, yeah. And then he just does and he just looks down, points. What's that? He misses.
He's flying down.
Look, this is brilliant. Look, it's brilliant. It's so cartoony, but it's so good. And he's just like, no, enough. Oh, this is so good. Whoa. He's just getting the crap kicked out of him. Here he goes, Chuck sand in his eyes. He just stands there holding him. Here we go.
The Star Wars blaster sound effect.
Yep.
Yeah, I do like the punch up though in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. He fights with the big dude.
Yeah, with the ants.
Does a sort of the backhanded punch, then comes around with another
that's
one.
right. Yeah.
Like that,
No, there's still some good Spielberg touches in Crystal Skull.
I think the first half of
I love the
Crystal
opening.
Skull was pretty good. Then the ending.
I love the opening.
The ending is garbage. Garbage.
This is so good. I've seen this recreated so many times at Disney Studios.
It's true, man.
This is the sequence they
because
recreate.
we were watching Temple of Doom the other day. I was trying to refresh myself, and I was like, there was a show, and I was trying to reminisce about what parts were what, and I was like trying to remember to myself. I said, I've got to. Brad will know. He's seen it. He's seen it.
Yep.
He's obsessed with all those things.
Yep. And that show's been running for so many years, and it's still exactly the same. Like the same gags, the same pretend person from the audience that's actually really a stuntman.
Oh.
It's the same. They've not changed a single note of that show. It's great. Again, this is good. This is, again, the cliffhanger. This is the end of episode cliffhanger. Will they make it out?
Oh, that's a good punch.
Yeah.
Right, it's like right to the neck,
right.
isn't it?
Yeah. Big uppercut. He's just getting the crap kicked out of him.
Yeah, he can't take him down.
Yeah,
he can't.
he's just... and then he just tries to get those in. And then, boom.
And Harrison's having to do all this where he's wearing a jacket and all that stuff.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
You know, when you're wearing the hat, the heat just can't escape from your body. Oh, nice.
Oh, look, all the blood spurts on the front of the cockpit. There's something about the way he looks when he's all covered in dust as well. It's so fucking good.
That's a great shot when it exploded just before they exited frame.
Yep. And it's like, okay, a little moment of reprieve, and then
Volt. Boom. Oh yeah, God. Do you remember the bit when he's got the rocket launcher? Aimed at Paul.
Yep.
And you see the bug go in his mouth.
The fly goes in his mouth.
Yeah. Gross.
You're going to give mercenaries a bad name. Look at that silhouette. Okay, right, here we go. So, I believe this is the greatest piece of action music ever written. This is the greatest action cue of all time. It's freaking brilliant.
Even on the LP, it says greatest action cue.
Yeah, it says greatest action cue of all time.
Track 9.
Yep. And this whole sequence is... It's such old-fashioned filmmaking, but it holds up still today.
Well, this becomes just a great homage to the action.
Yeah, this is a homage to the Western stunts.
Chasing after vehicles on a horse climbing on.
Yeah,
dangling off it.
It's all classic gags, but it just holds up. It's so good. And this is the classic line. Okay, this, when it cuts to him riding through the desert on that horse, and the Indiana Jones theme kicks in.
Oh, that's wonderful.
To me, cinema just doesn't get any better.
Look at that. Look, that is a great shot. It's like the heroes going off.
Yeah, off he goes. They're all cheering, and then here we go. The bad guys with the ark.
They're all looking a bit like pensioners.
Yeah. Here we go. Look.
Oh, look at that.
It's just
this is
like
when you see like the concept art for Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
And Spielberg's captured.
And there it is. Yeah, there it is.
Usually it's so rare for the concept art to look just as the film. It's always just as good as the art.
Yeah.
And you see that.
And there is that whole spirit of that concept art is captured in this.
Was it Ralph McQuarrie again doing the concept art?
Yeah, I believe he did.
I think he did. Yeah, the early sort of designs to sort of show Paramount what it's going to look like.
So you know, all I'm doing is bopping to the music now. It's just so good.
What the hell?
And it's the way the music changes tempo on when he gets shot, and it goes into the bum 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 bum, all that. There you go. A bit of Wilhelm.
They both started steering in the correct direction.
And it's the guy that jumps in there. Poor guy. He just wanted to have a laugh.
I love this funny when the guy gets run over by the truck. It's kind of like this guy's in the foreground, the car's in the background. Just goes, yeah, tends to get crushed.
Yeah.
It's so funny. This is all second unit, right? It's not Spielberg directing this.
Most of this is second unit.
By him, obviously. It's so because Harrison nailed this role so well, and we've got 4 films over the years, but I just wish there wasn't such a huge gap between 3 and 4. I wish there should have been 2 in the 90s.
Yeah,
And Spielberg, wouldn't have done these other movies such as maybe like Saving Private Ryan and AI or whatever.
Exactly. I mean, that's the thing. You got if the filmmakers aren't in the right space to do it, then you can't do it, can you? I mean, like we said, this is all about the execution. These movies, it's all about the love and the joy of making movies. So the filmmakers have got to be in that headspace to do it. I'm sorry, it's just not an artificial thing that you can recreate just because it's an IP.
Yeah.
Look at that. Matte painting.
I think they may have improved that optical there. I think they did.
He looks so pissed off. Yeah. Just like, oh, come on, guys. Fucking had enough. And I
these Nazis won't quit.
Okay, here we go. And this is where the music just kicks into another gear.
Oh, I got him.
Yep. I love the way the door's on the ground as well.
Those vehicles are like Mercedes, aren't they? Oh, interesting. He looks like that British producer who made Star Wars. Can't remember his name now. So he looks a bit old. He looks a bit like Crocodile Dundee.
Well, he's obviously a seasoned stuntman. This guy.
Yeah.
He's been around.
He's actually only like 35. Yeah. He's so weathered.
Yeah.
What a tough life. Just been smoking since I was 8.
There we go. Classic. So this is all shot at a pretty low frame rate.
Oh, was it?
To make it all look fast.
Oh yeah, because it would really hurt the stuntman. So going faster.
Yeah. But it just looks so good. It's all old school tricks and it's seamless. Boom. This poor bugger, the way he just whacks his head backwards and forwards. He's like, fuck you. You made me go under the truck.
Yeah. This is like a similar moment happens in Mad Max 2 with this.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
There's a bit coming up where if you listen on the sound, there's a dog barking, and and the guy offers him a melon, and he chucks the melon, and you hear the dog whimper, as if he just hit the dog with the melon.
Amazing.
I love the way everyone's in on it now.
Yeah, they all sort of. They must have been queued up to do this.
Yeah, Salah's got them all ready. Here we go. This is it. You listen to this dog barking.
But there's no dog there.
I know. It's like, literally, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Look, he just looks so knackered.
There's a great moment when the sub, well, then the boat, the Nazis come up in a submarine, don't they? Is it a U-boat or something? Not a U-boat. No, it's a submarine.
Sub, yeah.
Yeah, sub. And Indy comes up and he's swum over, isn't he? And he's got on the sub, and
he's up there, and there's no way in.
Everyone waves at him, and the music just fucking
the music
Indy
just goes nuts.
kicks in. That's wonderful.
But then he's up there, and he's like, "How do I get in?" And then they decide not to show us.
Yes.
It's literally like he gets in by the power of filmmaking.
Yeah,
and you don't care because you're along for this ride now, and you're in the spirit of it. It's the spirit of the filmmaking is what makes it gets away with all that kind of stuff. I just love the way this scene is lit as well. There's just something about that misty dock.
Mm-hmm. It's great because you think there's going to be a sort of romantic moment between them now, and it kind of it builds up into it. But then he gets hit over in the chin with the mirror.
Yeah, when she chins him in the mirror, it is just fucking hilarious. It just cuts to this wide shot of the boat, and you just hear him screaming. Here we go. This is amazing. And it's like after everything he's been through. Here's a classic line.
It's the mileage, yeah.
It's not the years, honey, it's the mileage. It's so good. Go away. It's brilliant, isn't it? Yeah. It's such classy writing. He's just all shy about it as well. Yeah. And then he just falls asleep.
No, she's all fired up.
Mm-hmm. She's ready to go. She's going to have to go to Katanga's.
Yeah.
There we go. Let's just randomly have God burn out the Nazi sign. That's a great moment. That it basically just solidifies there is something about this arc.
Yeah, yeah.
Because right now all it is just a hunk of metal that.
Yeah, yeah. It's a horror element to it, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what they use in horror. It's sowing the seeds that something's not quite right with it. Yeah.
I mean, you look at this movie. This could have been shot freaking yesterday. You know.
If it was shot yesterday, though, it would be shot on digital and it would be all like super clean.
No, exactly. It looks better than it would if it was shot yesterday.
Yeah. They'd end up artificially adding grain to it or something.
Well, I was asked. I think it was Tim asked me one time when we were having a drink. You know what? If you had the budget, would you shoot on film or digital? And I said film. There's no two ways about it. If it's not taking away the money from anything else important, I'd shoot on film. And I said, and the reason for that is that whenever I have conversations with a DP or a grader, the very first thing we say is, how do we make this look more like film? It's the first thing we always say.
Yeah.
So then just shoot on film. And there are ways of making digital look really good and very film, but if you can do the real deal?
I think the lenses now have got really good digital, haven't they?
Yeah.
Sort of give you that anamorphic sort of...
Yeah, the anamorphic lenses on them. And the other advantage, you can shoot in such low light now. You know, half the filmmaking that I do wouldn't be possible back in those days.
No.
Yeah.
It's like if they actually turned, they hit the horn.
Yeah.
And you was like, ah!
And you got this little character, Mr. Katanga, and he's only in it a brief moment, but there's just something so interesting about him.
Oh yeah.
You know, and you're not sure whether he's a good guy or not, but he is.
It's a wonderful moment.
Yep.
Yeah, and Harrison run.
Yep, there he is. You just see him, he looks around, he's like, how am I going to get in? And that's it, and that's all we see.
Yeah.
And next time we see him, he's just wet.
That cue that's a bit Star Wars. That sort of sound.
Well, yeah, I mean, the Williams little tricks all over it.
It's kind of like they haven't gone underwater, you know, because they're arriving already up, you know.
Yeah, you could maybe accept that that's what happened. But I believe it's the actual same sub that they've shot, that Wolfgang Peterson shot. Das Boot. Yeah. This is a good moment.
It's like a Bond moment as well, isn't it? Where he's sort of, creeping up on.
But because this is Indiana Jones, the uniform doesn't fit. He tries to disguise himself with. You never see this guy's face. He's got a comb.
That's the hat.
Yep.
I don't know what hangar this is. Where must be somewhere down in the Thames, maybe. I don't know. They built this at Elstree?
No, it wouldn't have been built at Elstree. I mean, if that was a stage, it would have been the Bond stage, but but I don't think it is. I think it's actually I think it is a real hangar. Yeah. Now I do believe that he's lost his hat now. That he never wears it until the very end.
When Indy, sorry.
Yeah. It's funny how you always think that he never loses his hat, but he has.
Yeah. I can see the burn mark on it. That's good attention to detail, that is.
Yep. Look at this. And this is where they shot Star Wars. It's the same canyon that Ben Kenobi meets Luke Skywalker.
I don't remember any droids. Left the conga line.
Yep. It's just the music. It's just so good.
Bel Air.
Hello.
Should have just run north.
Yeah.
Behind them,
Yeah.
There we go.
There you go.
Hey. Oh. Ain't that fly. But he's professional, though. He didn't stop.
Yep, no, he kept going.
He would have felt that.
Fly went right in his gob and he carried on. Didn't even blink.
But as Belloc knows, he knows Indy will not destroy.
Yeah, he knows he can't do it
like that.
He knows he's bluffing.
Is Indy's weakness.
Yep.
And the grain's kicked up a bit
there.
Yeah,
because there's going to be a dissolve happening, yeah. Yep, old optical dissolves. So I think that this end sequence is wonderful. I think that this, to me, it is the only way this movie can end. It's perfect.
It's when the beams of light hit them. It looks incredible.
Yeah.
Obviously Richard Edlund's great optical work as well, and rotoscoping. Because we also had, the mad theory, wasn't there? Because we discussed this beforehand, sort of test Brad if he knew, sort of that if Indy wasn't involved in this, they'd still ultimately kill themselves without Indy doing anything.
Mm.
But also, they'd spend forever digging, and then if I did find it, then
Well, I believe
Belloc wasn't involved, it would be someone else.
Exactly. I believe if Indy didn't come and find the Ark, they wouldn't have found it for such a long time. Belloc would have been kicked off. Somebody else would have taken over, probably Ronald Lacey. And once they found the Ark, they'd take it straight to Hitler. They wouldn't do this. So he's just a fly. He's no more than a fly in the ointment, really. Just causing problems and havoc and making them, distracting them.
What's also decided him to wear this outfit for this ritual? How would he know if it's correct or not? Or where did he get it
he's
from?
obviously he's a man of faith, and Indy isn't, and that's.
What was it? Because Indy knows, as he tells Marion to close her eyes.
Yeah, he knows not to look.
But was that? I'm trying to think if was that something he hinted at earlier, like maybe not worthy enough to look, wasn't it, or something like that? Or I can't remember.
Well, I think it's more based on the what was it? I've just gone out of my head now. What it was the the story of the don't look back.
Mm.
But it's like you can't look on the face of God.
That's right. Well, didn't this cause a little bit of commotion for the BBFC, wasn't it? Because of the
the American rainbow. It was the face blowing up that they hated. So all the fire gets put into that shot to hide it a lot. There we go.
The face melting is quite. It's quite amusing. Just fall into it. I love all that stuff. Yeah.
Where they're all Heil Hitling. They're all
through the eyes, the beams of light.
Look at all that. Look, all the Nazis.
There's only one shot which is a bit wonky. Where it looks like a blatant miniature when the flame goes down.
Yeah.
The steps.
Look. It's all time lapse. Look at that. Come on, guys. Come on. And then and all that fire is put in a way to give it the ratings.
So that's what gives it scale away. It's like a Hornby set.
Yeah. It still looks great though. Look at it. It's fucking great. And then it just sucks them all. Yeah. All the Nazis get sucked up into heaven. And the way you've got the lid of it, because the sound of the lid coming off was the sound of Ben Burt's the lid on his toilet. Yeah.
Sound like a suitcase closing.
Yeah. Look.
That's my Samsonite.
It's so good. I mean, that was horrific. Especially as a kid in the cinema, it was like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah,
I was like, fuck. Well, I don't think I said fuck, but
blimey,
equivalent. Blimey, O'Reilly,
Gordon Bennett.
Here we go. Again, this is another sort of one camera move coverage. Just going around the table. I just love that guy standing in the background. Like,
who is that man?
Is he?
He's a secret agent.
Boat propeller? Yes, well, I think so, yes. It's brilliant.
Where did they shoot this?
I believe this is the
is it museum?
The London Museum. Yeah. The one up in near Holborn, I think.
Oh, he's so depressed, isn't he? Because he just can't research it. Oh, you see that the anamorphic blur at the top?
Yeah. It's great, isn't it?
Yeah, you just know it's anamorphic then.
And this ending is so good. And this is one of my favourite matte paintings of all time.
Oh, yeah, definitely. This is the blend of the live action to the matte is just, like, seamless.
And I believe inspired by the ending of Citizen Kane, this whole thing.
Oh, yeah. Those are papers, wasn't it?
Yeah. But, yeah, look at that. That is just... I mean, it's brilliant. Come on. Why don't we do matte paintings anymore? Come on, people. I want matte paintings again. Look at it.
If you zoomed in just to the top bit, you're like, that's a blatant painting. Yeah. Look at that. You finish it.
So, Right, it was one of my favourite things was when I first got my Industrial Light and Magic book, and there's a big 3-page pull out of that matte painting with the bit blacked out where the live action bit is, and it just blew my head. I was like, oh my god, that's a painting. So good. This is what's missing, right? Like these guys, they did this nostalgia. It was a nostalgic kick for them, but they used. But it's still a love of traditional filmmaking techniques, and I'd love to do something like that now, where you make something, we've got digital technology now for making all our comps a lot better, but other than that, just stick to old school filmmaking techniques, and it will just gives the film that craft feel to it.
But this was. In the 1980s, this was, as I say, it was a throwback to the serials of the 30s and 40s, right?
Yeah.
But now for our generation to sort of do something of that similar nature, what would we do? What would be our throwback? And our throwback is kind of this.
Well, no, exactly. I mean, that's what I'm saying is we're doing it all the time now. Yeah. We're doing it all the time. We're just doing it rubbish. You know, that's what I mean. Is it's not actually really the idea of it, of doing a throwback, the idea of nostalgia is pointless and meaningless without the love of the craft to go with it, the love of the craft of that time, not just the IP of that time. That's the thing. It's just about the IP. See, Indiana Jones is not a remake of an IP from the 30s and 40s.
No.
It's a re-love of that kind of filmmaking. It's not, and that's what they're getting wrong now. Is now that it's just about IP. I mean, yes, the IP for some reason, IPs from when we were kids seem to be valuable, and they keep remaking this stuff. But if you're not, it's like if you're going to remake RoboCop, you've got to do it with the. Yes, I know that you for a modern audience, you've got to update things, but there's still got to be that umbilical link to the techniques and the fun and the intentions of the original. Not just going, it's RoboCop, we'll call it that, but we'll just do something completely different. It's like, well, that's just silly. You just invent. You're literally just trying to stand on the shoulders of an IP and try and get away with it. With a sloppy film, and it's like, no, Whereas this is the opposite. This is standing on the shoulders of those guys, but in a way of bringing their filmmaking techniques and the love of filmmaking and that atmosphere of filmmaking into what at the time was the modern age.
Would you say Kingdom of the Crystal Skull doesn't actually follow the roots of this, though? Because it uses a lot of...
Well, the problem with Crystal Skull is...
modern techniques and computer-generated
imagery. But also the problem with it is the sci-fi angle, because I think I said it's like Lucas doesn't... Lucas is a genius, but I don't think he realises how good his things are, because he saw this as a throwback, and when he does... Then 20 years later, he does another one. He's like, well, this needs to be a throwback to the 50s, and the 50s B-movies were sci-fi. It's like, but no, George, you've created kind of your own genre with this.
Yeah.
Don't break it. And that's what he did, because he doesn't realise that he has literally created his own genre with this.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel about Crystal Skulls anyway, without going into detail. But yeah.
Well, everyone, that is the end of the commentary. Hope you enjoyed it. Me and Brad will be back with Temple of Doom.
Indiana Jones, I love it!
In a couple of weeks. Okay, everyone, take care and goodbye.
Bye-bye.